What's up guys, I'm Taylor with TK Disc Golf and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I've got my hands on the new players pack for the 2025 MVP circuit events. We've got the Electron Watt, the Particle Proton Uplink, and the Fission Trace, followed up with the ever exclusive Watermelon Fireball. So without further ado, let's take a look and see how they fly. Now obviously the goal of this video is to just give a brief overview of how each disc is going to fly so you have a better idea of what they're going to fly like as you head into your circuit challenge you may be playing this summer. Obviously, if these get an official release down the road, I'll do a more in-depth review of each one of these as I get them. Starting off, we're going to take a look at the Electron Watt, and as everybody knows, Electron plastic typically flies a little bit more understable than the premium flight numbers. They have not put official flight numbers out for this Electron Watt yet, but the premium flight numbers come in at 2 speed, 5 glide, minus half turn with half fade. That's for your like neutron plastic, and really this Electron plastic wants to flip up a lot more than I'm used to. I bag a neutron Watt, it's very, very straight, but the Electron plastic was wanting to flip up a lot more. Really hard to throw this one in the field because the backdrop in the black disc really drowned out, so didn't throw too much of the field work because I knew you just wouldn't be able to really track the disc too well. But of course everybody wants to know, how is the Electron Watt going to fly for putting? That's what everybody's going to be using it for, and I'm happy to say it's pretty close to the Pixel as far as its flight goes. Out of the hand, laser straight when aiming for that dead center pole, and the glide is honestly off the charts, even more so than the Pixel. That was really my biggest issue I was having with the Watt, other than the hand feel, which I'll get to in a second. But as far as the glide goes, it had such a glide boost compared to my Pixel, at least for me, that I was actually having to focus on letting go of the disc a little earlier and releasing a little lower. That way the disc could glide and get that natural lift up it was wanting to. My biggest miss I was getting initially was hitting that top band on the longer putts. Inside 20 feet, you're not really going to notice that much of a difference with the glide, but on those longer putts, I was definitely having to readjust my aiming point to try to sink some of those. But the hand feel, obviously the Watt, much shallower profile versus the Pixel, so if you're someone that likes deeper dish putters like myself, that's going to be something to get used to. Moving on to the Particle Glow Uplink, it's got the flight numbers 5 speed, 5 glide, minus 3 turn with half fade, making it a hyzer flipping machine, but don't let the understable flight numbers fool you. It can handle some power. It's like a power understable, really. The lower arm speeds are going to be able to keep this thing on a super straight, narrow line, whereas someone like me that throws a little bit harder had no problems getting it. The hyzer flip up the flat and then get some drift to the right, and then the less hyzer you give it, the more you're going to get those cheater forehand lines. Was really having fun with this thing. And honestly, the uplink in this plastic, I don't know if it's different than the Neutron Gyropalooza first runs that I throw. I think those came out a little bit more overstable, and then the more recent uplinks have a little bit more flip to them, I believe. But this run definitely has a little bit more responsiveness to those hyzer flips, and man, it was like flying unnecessarily far. Like for a mid-range for my arm, I'm typically only throwing mids out to like 300 to 310 on like max distance, but actual on the course, I'd really be going for a mid between that 275 to 300 for my golf shot. But this thing on some of the farther throws, it was easily hitting 330 feet, which was pretty crazy for my arm. Moving on though, we're going to take a look at the Fission Trace, and this is the one that everybody's kind of been on the fence about, because in the lighter 150 class weight without that overmold, some people are going to say that the Fission Trace is a little too understable for their higher arm speeds. But for me, I had no problem controlling it. I had a 154 gram, and on the hard hyzers, it would flip up the flat real nice and get some really nice S shots. And then the more you dial back the hyzer, the more it's wanting to drift right, and you could get some beautiful cheater forehand lines out of it. I mean, this thing was flying ridiculously far for this low of a weight for me. An 11 speed, 5 glide, minus 1 turn with 2 fades, the official flight numbers for premium plastic. This one I would definitely call it like a minus, probably 2.5, minus 3 turn with that 2. It still had like a 1.5 fade for me. It really had that dependable late hookup, but yeah, on those hard hyzers, it'll flip up the flat nice. On the flat shots way out left, you can get some really cool swooping shots, and on that one, I think I hit probably 415 feet, which is a really good crush for me. And lastly, the event exclusive for the circuit of challenges every year is the Watermelon disc, and this year we're getting the Fireball. This is one of the first times we're getting a truly overstable disc in the Watermelon lineup, other than the Pyro and kind of the Envy. I guess you can count that as well. So pretty cool to see the Fireball. It's got the flight numbers 9 speed, 3.5 glide with 0 turn, and 3.5 fade. Me personally, I felt like it had a pretty good amount of glide, especially when you throw it on those hard flex shots. It wants to stay in the air pretty long before it hooks up late at the end. The only 2 shots of Fireball overall for me is useful for is flattening out right and letting it scoop back into the center, and then throwing the hard flex shots to try to get it to fly super straight with a late flare skip. Overall, I think this is a pretty good players pack that MVP put together. In years past, they've had some that are a little bit more on the overstable side, which some fans were upset about, especially on the lower arm speed level. This one I feel like is a pretty neutral, dead center, middle of the road pack for most arm speeds. If you're a beginner level player, you're going to have no problem keeping these discs straight. Intermediate to advanced level arm speeds are going to be able to hyzer flip these with ease and still control them. And the highest power throwers, you may need to dial the power back a little bit and throw with a little bit more touch than you're used to, but I think everybody will be able to enjoy a round with their buddies at a local circuit event. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and this recap is going to help you well with the event you're playing. Be sure to hit subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our MVP exclusive content. We will see you on the next video.